Welcome in to a Huskers post game of an interesting, very, very interesting game. Brian, we were texting throughout the game, and I don't know how the fans feel about this one, but I hope people don't call me negative after this post game. That's all. I'm just going to throw that out there because
it was our game.
The ending still didn't wipe away the stink of the middle of that game. And I think I have to be consistent here. When we played Cincinnati and I was kind of negative about the win, right? I said there's a higher standard for this team.
Yep.
And I feel like that I have to consistently have that same mindset in this game because this is a game that Nebraska should have won running away. And although the score may looks like we, won, we were up by 17, but it sure as hell didn't feel like we were up by 17 when we were up by 17. Again, took some explosive plays, but we're gonna dive into this a little bit. Let me go ahead and look at some of the comments here. Go Big Red, Chuck's in here. What's up, man? What was Horgerson? Something we haven't seen. Was a Mosey Nelson starting in the second quarter? Had to have been Mosey as the 2, I guess.
Dude, I don't know. I feel like it was just all talk at that point.
Yeah. Never apologize for winning ever, but also I think we could also agree there's still a lot to fix up. Yes. Man, 100%. We got a lot to talk about in regards to that. Ron T, what's going on, man? Appreciate you hopping in here. Caleb, that was a game. At least we won. At least. I'd rather learn from a win than a loss, but we're still.
It's easier to coach after a win too.
Man, is it ever? We didn't cover, but strong performance in the win. Rhule learned to take the win in the fourth over the ball versus Ferentz. I'm going to be honest. That did make a huge difference in this game. I'm glad we won, but there's also many mistakes, unnecessary bad play. Exactly. Christian, go Big Red. Appreciate you hopping in here, sir. How many times did we get scores called back?
Jackery one.
First off, I'm just going to start with, Nebraska made me upset, right? But nothing made me more upset than Tim Brando and listening to this idiot call this game. Because
and that color commentator, he was terrible.
They were both bad. Early in the game, they were like, okay, well, they called this. Let's make sure they let him play throughout the game. Then every single call, like that second pass interference on that goal line where they ran like 47 plays from the goal line, like he had his hand on the guy's hip, but the guy just fell down and they called pass interference. And so if we're letting him play, we're letting him play there, right, Tim Brando? Right? But like
every also annoying
even when they let him play on the scoop and score, like naturally, yes. If it's close, let them play. That's what they do now. And he's like, I don't understand why they're letting him play. Shut up, Tim. I hate this old. I'm not going to say anything. What were you saying, Brian?
Oh, it was so annoying. Like how many times the color guy would be like, oh, they missed that call. And if they didn't call it, then it never happened or something to that extent, some variation. And I was like, how many missed calls are we talking about today?
There was that one play where it was like, oh, well, they didn't deserve those 5 yards that he got on that. There was 5 Michigan. Well, I'm sorry, they can't tackle. Neither can we. Why don't we get that credit? They were praising Aiden Childs half the game for being a terrible quarterback and basically just being a running back running the Wildcat. But they were just giving him all the credit in the world. The dude got benched because the backup quarterback scored twice.
Yeah, two of their scores were from a backup.
Throwing the ball, mind you. Aiden Childs cannot throw the ball. We talked about this. Me and you talked about this. We're like, yeah, he's good stats in the season, but the dude can't throw the ball.
I've been saying this for years. I never understood the hype about him. I heard someone this week say he was a projected first-round quarterback. And I was like, you're fucking high.
Give me a break.
Dude, he looked like shit.
He overthrew everybody.
Both of his INTs were terrible throws.
Horrid. Even worse than that, like his overthrows were god awful. If Dylan Raiola had those overthrows, can you imagine what he'd be getting in the media right now?
Online too.
Like there was like 4 or 5 overthrows. Just like I'm not even close to receiver couldn't even get their hands on him. Boss, we won. We did. But literally, I'm sorry. I apologize for anybody if they feel like I'm being negative in this post game. But that was so frustrating to watch. I was so upset in that game, dude. I was frustrated.
It seemed like we were about to get up really big, really quick. And then they went on that 17 play, 10-minute drive, and it like just took the wind out of our sails.
It was
almost like at that moment, it was like, oh shit, here we go.
Yeah. Yeah. And I get we won, right? I understand that part of it. But the middle of the game matters if you're going to be a team that's wanting to compete for the college football playoff. You can't
do that against Penn State.
We can't do this every single week, bro. It seems like this happens every single week. Like Michigan last week, a lull in the middle of the game. Michigan kind of took over. Late in the game, we try to make a pushback, right? We can't keep doing that. I'm sorry. You look at a team like UCLA. UCLA went out and handled business right here. Caleb bringing it up against Penn State. Handled business, right?
Mm-hmm.
Upset them. Like we have to be able to play a complete 4-quarter game, and right now we're not doing that. Thank God for the special teams. Special teams. If it wasn't for special teams, we lose that game.
They would have scored. They didn't call back that Jackery punt return for a touchdown, which was beautiful, by the way. It was. They would have scored 14 of our points.
Yeah.
Yep. Which we ended up scoring on that drive anyways, correct? That was the next play was the Isaiah Hunter, one shoe, 59-yard touchdown.
Couple plays we ended up scoring, but still. Yeah.
So we ended up scoring anyways. But so 14 of our points essentially came from a punt block for a touchdown and a punt return for a touchdown. And also, who the fuck on Michigan State is like, okay, Jackery's averaging 20 yards of punt return. Let's keep punting to him. That coach should be fired immediately. It made zero sense.
I have no idea, but I was there for it. I was like, but it seemed like as soon as we got that, like I may have just like lost my mind in this moment, but it seemed like after that punt return got called back, the next one they just didn't block. Nobody blocked, and I was like, block! Like, what are we doing, bro? Like, just don't block him in the back. Still lay some blocks. There was 8 people there.
He didn't need to touch. Carter didn't need to touch that dude. I have no idea what he was thinking.
He didn't. No, he didn't at all. And it was, I saw somebody saying like it's a weak call, but it's still a block in the back.
Yeah, the penalty is the penalty.
It is. It is what it is. We did that. We got to stop doing that. Justin Evans, by the way, I get that maybe he made a play later in the game, but holy cow, how stupid are you? How stupid are you?
In front of the ref.
How dumb are you? The fact that he can get pulled out of the game actually upsets me. I don't even care if you made a play later in the game. You punch that dude in the face, and the ref is touching you essentially, and you're like, boom. Dumb.
Coach JB always says if you're either coaching it or allowing it, which is one of the few things I agree with him on.
Yes,
but it's 100% true because you are either coaching it or you're allowing that behavior. And I was kind of going back and forth with Coach BA on X today, and he made the great point of previously Pritchett screws up, they pull him out. Yeah. He doesn't see the field ever again.
Yes.
But Evans he causes you 15 yards on a personal foul. He stays in the game. Gunnar Gatula all starts and stays in the game.
Mazuka last year.
Yes.
You can't tell me one rule because Mazuka had all the talent in the world.
And I don't know who their backup is at center. It's probably Sam Sledge, but at some point, in my opinion, you have to make a statement. Like this is like that drive where they gave up. They was it a bad punt or something?
Yeah.
Or Jackery had a nice return. They started on the Michigan State 27-yard line and they punted from their own 44.
I
would have benched the entire offensive line, even Rocco, who honestly has not been an issue at all year. But just for a blanket statement, this as a group is not acceptable, and you will not play until you can figure it the fuck out. It's absolutely ridiculous. Coach Riola should be fired before he even gets in the locker room. I'm so over it. Like there's been no development on that offensive line. I told you I was going to go on some tangents.
Yeah, I'm
trying to reel it in.
It's fun because what development we thought we had on the offensive line seemingly has gone by the wayside. And I'm sorry, like we can win 9 games like this, right?
And still not okay.
It's not okay because you got to win a national championship, and which is what this team wants to get back to, is what us as a fan base wants the standard to get back to. You have to play 4 quarters of football. Now we're playing, okay, we're playing the fourth quarter. We're playing the first and the fourth. What about the second and the third? We're not playing those anymore. It's just like, yeah, Michigan State was a very bad team. We are lucky we played a very bad team today. In my opinion, with how this team played, we are so lucky we played a really bad team with a really bad quarterback. Terrible. Michigan State's terrible.
Because Maryland's next week, and they're not going to let you hang around.
No. Luckily, I don't know if necessarily they can run the ball at a level Michigan State can. But even then, it's hard to feel confident right now in this team just because you can let the game get away from you in that mid part of the game. And it seems like this team is not still has yet to play a full quarter game. Before it's like, okay, before it was the fourth quarter is just lacking. Now, Matt Rhule comes with the mindset, we got to win the fourth. Well, the second and third matter. And if it wasn't for Eckler, that would have got away from us really fast. Really fast.
How ironic is it? Last year, special teams costed us games, and this year it quite literally won us a game. They flipped the field consistently all game, except for like one bad punt by Archie into the wind. But when we needed him, he had that dagger at the 10-yard line.
A couple of bad punts into the wind, for sure. What were we saying?
Barney's phenomenal. I mean, I couldn't imagine. I figured punt return would be better this year. I did not expect what I'm seeing right now from Jackery. He is an absolute stud at punt returner.
He's electric. Like, every time the ball gets in his hands with any amount of room, you feel like he can at least get 10 yards out of it.
Was it the one that he returned for a touchdown where he caught it and was just kind of walking, just sizing it up, and then just
kind of watching it develop and then hit his spot? Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's nice to see because it shows that there's a process right now to the way the punt blocking is setting up and stuff like that. Let me go ahead. I want to dive into some of the stats here for a second, real quick. I will say, one of the early parts about this game was the fact that they were, we came out running the ball, which limited their pass rush on that first drive. And then as soon as we went away from running the ball, and it's almost like we went straight air raid, then they were able to pin their ears back and come after us. If we get any kind of
State had more sacks tonight than they had all season.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I think they had 6 coming into the game or something like that.
Yeah, they had 6. They had 5 when I last looked.
Yeah, let me go look, because their defense was horrendous all season. And again, that is part of the reason why I'm not going to sit here and grandstand this win.
But also, I think both teams really struggled going into the win. My buddy Cole and I were texting back and forth, and that was one thing he pointed out was we get the ball in the fourth quarter and everything can change, and it did. They scored 17 points.
But the thing about that game is, and what I try to think about is, we had some advantages, right? We won the toss, we had the win.
Yeah.
Do we win that game otherwise? I just think about those things.
Going into the win in the fourth quarter, I think changes things. We really struggled to throw it.
And the way it helped us out in other parts in that game, I just want this team to win a game against a team. I get we beat Houston Christian Actor the way we should have, right? But I want to beat a conference team the way we should. And Michigan State coming to this game with a bad defense. I know a lot of people gave Michigan State a chance. I really didn't give them much of a chance watching Aiden Giles and watching this team, because
he was 9 of 23 today. He was awful. He
was bad. And our secondary was our strength. And for them, their defense was so bad. Our defense had been good this year. This should have been more of a win than it was. And I want to just see us be able to go in and handle business, kind of like Ohio State does against a lot of the
you get in and you get out.
And I know they play a lot of teams close. I get it, right? But they also blow a ton of teams out, us included. Michigan came in last week, right, with their backs against the wall. They're like, oh, we had a true freshman quarterback, but that's a team that's used to winning, right? And so they just stayed the course throughout the game. They stuck to their game plan, right?
Even and today against Wisconsin.
I feel like that's what we're missing. We're missing just kind of that identity that like a Michigan has, where they're able to go in there and they're going to be like, this is how we're going to beat you. And no matter what, we're going to stick to this.